Alright, this building with Papa. Okay, I'm going to be hanging the wing walls of this little place here that we're putting together so I can demonstrate to you different ways of cutting the drywall and various openings. This one here I'm going to cut to the exact size. So if it was another wall, just like I did the back one, you're cutting it out to the very edge. Alright, so I'm doing this on a full sheet. So I already know that the other wall is going to be this pretty much the same size. But the drywall will be longer, and I'll show you how we do that cut when you have a piece of drywall that's longer, as long as you have an end stud, end wall. That's where you would be able to do that cut properly. So here we take the T-square. I had already made my mark. Okay, remember, put your thumb on it, get your drywall knife, put it into the drywall, slide your T-square up to it, get your foot on the bottom of the T-square, and go ahead and score it through the paper. You have to cut the paper, so make sure you change your knife blades frequently so that you're able to cut your drywall and get nice smooth cuts. Alright, now I'm going to show you this cut. I've cut the face, I break the drywall, it sits there. Now I'm going to do what we call a snap cut. Okay, I only cut up in the middle. Put your knee up against the drywall. Okay, have the two pieces of drywall in your hand, pull it to you, and it snaps. I call that a snap break. Okay, so you don't have to run around the other side of the drywall. It snaps off nice and clean. Don't forget to rasp the sides, the ends. Okay, on this one, we want to make sure we have the factory edge, so I flip it around, and that factory edge will go against the other drywall and create a real nice tight seam. Remember when we did these studs, go back and watch the framing. I had installed the stud in the opening and put another stud behind it, which made it stiffer so that we don't worry about the studs being at a plumb when we hang the drywall. Okay, keep your drywall tight to the ceiling and the other wall. Okay, before you screw it off, make sure it's tight. Now go ahead and tack it. Alright, everything's tight, so I'm going to go ahead and screw it off. You see me grabbing the stud. I grab the stud so that it doesn't twist. This one here, we didn't put a T-stud in. I only did it at the opening. Now this is an end stud. Could have put the T-stud in there, but I elected not to. But I hold the stud with my fingers and my thumb on the drywall, and I put in a screw. It helps to keep that nice and square. You want the end stud to stay nice and square. Your finisher will be much happier too. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and screw this one off. Once you get enough studs in, and especially around the opening, then we're going to cut the opening out also. Remember, this one's a pass-through opening, so this one will get wrapped with drywall. Grab your router and you run your blade right alongside the studs. It's just so much faster with a router. Okay, now when you're running it, You might feel some resistance. Then instead of going down, go up with it. The router moves in one circular motion, but then when it's up against a different material, it can bind on you. Just change from one direction to the other, and you'll see the difference. It'll run nice and smooth. All right, now this side, we have a piece of drywall left over. Now it's longer than the wall. You can elect to cut it on the ground like we did the other one, but I'm going to show you here how we're going to put it there. I have the factory edge here, so I'm going to flip the drywall around and put my foot alongside the drywall and I pull it to me. Okay, I just flipped it around and now I'll have the factory edge up against the other drywall. It's going to make a nice tight corner. All right, bring the drywall in, take it up to the ceiling. All right, you don't care that it's going past the stud. Go ahead and screw it off. Now I'm working on a bench. You may have a small scaffold or a ladder. Okay, either way. But you're going to need to screw off the end stud. Maybe not 100%, but so that it's sturdy enough to cut this off. Now all you do is you run your drywall knife right alongside the edge of the stud, and then you'll be able to cut this piece off. Good sharp knife, don't forget. Okay, snap it. Don't cut from this side, you're going to have a jagged edge if you do. Go to the other side and cut it all the way down. You get a nice clean edge. Okay, you're going to want it for when you put the end drywall on, so that the finishers can put a good corner bead on and have a nice straight area. Now we have the tops all hung. Before you hang the bottoms, this is very important. You need to clean up your area. Okay, you need to do it. If you get any garbage behind your drywall, you're going to be unhappy. You're not going to be able to get it screwed off to the wall properly. You're going to wind up having to take that piece of drywall back off and then clean. So do yourself a favor, keep a broom with you and sweep it up. All right, get all the debris out away from the wall. It doesn't take long. It would take you longer to fix it than it would be to sweep it. So gather up everything, make sure you have all the loose screws that fall in, pieces of drywall. All right, now you'll be ready to hang the bottom sheets. Okay, so now we measure over to the wood. I'm marking the drywall. I have the measurements. I can give the measurements. I write it right on the drywall. This way, when I get to the sheet to be able to start cutting the studs, I don't have to run back and forth. I can see them. I can mark the drywall. And this way, I'll just go through and cut all the pieces. It'll save you some time. Use your head. Work smarter, not harder. Okay, I'm not breaking off each piece. I'm going through and I'm cutting them. That's what you need to do. Now I have all the pieces cut. Now I can snap them, get behind the drywall, and cut them. Right? I'm right there. I can go ahead and lean them to where I'm going to be screwing off the drywall or installing the drywall. Some of these I elect to cut a little longer. I can use the cutoff piece for the wrap. The wrap is going to be the end stud, like through the walkthrough. Okay, now here's your bottom piece. Remember, we started at the top because we have a drywall ceiling. We want to have a gap at the bottom. This is called a kicker. It's a very good tool to have. It on the bigger sheets, the small ones you don't need to use it, but this size or bigger, you want to be able to maneuver it easy, and this works real well. Okay, you need to have a gap on the bottom of the floor. This is an old kicker. I've had it for a lot of years. It was my personal one. You get it in the bottom, okay, get your drywall in place, and you kick it. You kick it, you get it underneath the drywall, and then you step on it, and it'll lift your drywall into place. Nice and tight. Tack off your drywall. Check everything. You want nice tight seams. Now, I used 1-inch screws, so I'm able to use them everywhere. It's 1/2-inch drywall. Okay, we have the gap in the bottom. You want at least a 1/2-inch gap on the bottom. You don't want more than 1 inch. The smaller pieces, you can hold them up and get them screwed off, just like I'm doing here. Okay, check your settings. Make sure you're not breaking the paper. They're small enough pieces, you can hold it up. You don't need a kicker on these. All right, go through. Remember, pay attention. Do your job. Pull your missed screws out. You're going to give the finisher a better area to work with. He's going to be happy. You're going to be happy. They're going to get a better product. All right, so this is how you would hang drywall. All right, Building with Papa. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Okay, tell your friends they can go to buildingwithpapa.com and it'll take them right to this site. They can see the videos. Thank you. Have a good day.